Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the zoning board of adjustment meeting of July 23rd, 2025. Will everyone please stand for a salute to the flag? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic which is stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Notice of the meeting has been satisfied in accordance with Chapter 231 PL 1975 by advertising in the Home News Tribune, notifying the Sentinel Publishing Company and the Star Ledger, and also posting on the bulletin board and filing with the Borough Clerk. Roll call.
Mr. Green,
Here.
Mr. Kaczynski.
Here.
Mr. Esposito.
Here.
Mr. Anna.
Here.
Mr. Bella.
Here.
Mr. Castleton.
Here.
Mr. Conley. Here.
In regards to old business and carrying over applications, we have none. So we're going to hear our first case is 2513, 28 Idlewild Avenue. Please come forward.
Hi. Okay.
Please raise your right hand. You swear to help.
Yes.
Would you tell the board exactly what you want to do on your property at 28 Idlewild Avenue?
You wanna install an in-ground pool? And because we don't have enough space, the setback's 10 feet from the property line. And you're gonna do a little bit closer, if I'm not mistaken, it's 8 from the neighbor and 4 from my garage.
So what you want to do is where there's a 10-foot minimum, you're proposing 8 foot, is that correct?
Yes.
And the other one where the garage is, it's a 10-foot minimum and you're proposing 4?
Yes,
That's the only stipulation that you have for the pool, correct?
yes.
Board have any questions?
So we need to install the fence, but it's gonna be
The vinyl, the white
line.
vinyl.
Oh, no, around the property.
The property.
So when you walk up the driveway.
It's gonna
It's
be a
gonna be a
gate.
gate.
It's gonna be a gate in the driveway. As right now, we don't have it, but we know we're gonna need as when we have the pool. We're gonna put a gate in the driveway, and on the other side of the house is like a little walkaway. So we're gonna close that too, so no one can walk on our backyard.
They don't need anything around.
No. You're going to speak with the zoning officer in reference to that fence, correct?
Yes, they're gonna get permits for everything.
Okay. Do you have anybody who's putting the pool up for you?
We're gonna put the pool, we want,
We own a pool business, so we're gonna do it, like the company's gonna do it.
You are the owners of A&F Pool?
yes,
Okay, and you're going to put the pool up yourself?
Yes.
Mr. Chairman, what are the variances required?
I have a question on the variances also, but they need to be 10 feet from the side property line, 10 feet from any accessory use. So they're only 8 feet from the side property line and 4 feet from the garage. So they would need 10 feet. Well, this is the front, the rear yard, looking at the garage, it's scaling about 6.9 feet, so I would see the same thing up there, so you would need to be 10 feet from the rear also, so go about 7. So we need a variance from the rear yard setback also.
Okay, and that's not included in there?
You just said side yard, I think, in the application, so you just amended you're asking for, to ask for a variance from the rear yard where it looks like approximately 7 feet is being provided and 10 feet required,
Okay,
so.
Unless you planned on having 10.
if we can have 7,
if we can have 7, if we
Can you
There's
add
no
that
way
right
for
now, or you need
7.
to apply for another variance?
Did you want the pool to line up with the back of your garage? Was that the intention?
Yes.
Kinda, yeah.
So there would be an additional variance. It's supposed to be 10 and they have approximately 7.
And then just from, this is not anything to do with zoning, but from the new guy that sold pools. But, you know, there's a pool from there, you dig 3 or 4 feet, you got to put in the pool collar, and your garage is 4 feet away. I
Mhm.
think that doesn't have too much of a foundation for the garage, but you're not gonna undermine your garage when you dig pool, correct?
Yeah, nice. It will be like a little bit of space on the garage. That's why we put in 4 feet, because that will be enough for the instruction.
Think about 3 feet from the pool then, correct?
Yeah.
Collar,
Mm-hmm.
this was, again, but you said you were
Yeah.
pool people, like.
Yeah, 'cause
No.
we did it that way because we want to leave a little bit more space for the neighbor, so we
Right.
not interfere
You
with
don't
the
wanna be
neighbor,
too
so
close
that's
to
why
the
we put it
neighbor.
closer to the garage.
You're working for, you're allowed to stay,
Yeah.
that's all I have.
Mr. Chairman, what's the width of your property?
I don't know.
40 feet. Okay, so it's a very narrow property. I'm just looking for a reason to grant the variance.
Yes, and you have a garage.
It's a very narrow
So-
property.
Yes.
We didn't want the garage, but when we bought the house, it came with the garage, so.
Anyone else have any questions? Want to open this to the public. Is there anyone from the public wishes to speak in reference to this application? What, please?
Hello, Edward Straussy. I live on 30 Ottawa Avenue. I'm their next door neighbor. The property's small. They want to put in a 10 by 25-foot pool in their yard. You got a garage, knock down the garage. I want it 10 feet away from my property. That's the variance, right? 10 feet away. And then they have a garage, they want to put 4 feet. Come on. Ostrowski, Ostrowski, Edward. 30 Ottawa Avenue. Thank you.
Anyone else from the public wish to speak in reference to this application? Hearing no one from the public, I close the public portion. What is the board want to do with this application?
I don't think there's enough of a setback from the garage.
Or else we suggest something else?
Mr. Chairman, if you want to increase the setback from the garage, it means you're going to decrease the setback from the other side property line, which the neighbor was concerned with. The width of the pool is, it's 10 feet, so it's not an extremely wide pool.
Yeah, they could slide the pool forward 2 or 3 feet and eliminate the rear yard variance, that's something. For
Being that you're in the pool business, can you modify the dimensions of this pool?
Yeah, we can.
You can always modify, yes. It's gonna be a custom pool. It's gonna be a vinyl liner pool, so you can do the size that you want.
I'm just going to ask this question for the record. Are you using your garage for anything?
No,
No, so you're not using the garage for
Uh,
cars?
Storage.
no, it's just storage stuff. No cars in the garage,
Bikes.
nothing. Just kids' toys, just,
When you bought the property, was that garage there?
yes,
It was.
it was that.
garage looks very old. And it's wooden, right?
No, it's concrete.
It's concrete.
It's like cement
Concrete.
blocks and has no
Okay.
cracks at all in the garage. It's completely solid.
Mr. Chairman, my question is, if Andy's going to be looking at the fence, right, are we putting the cart before the horse? What if he knocks it down and they can't get together on the fence and
Mr. Chairman, I spoke with Mr. Mishansky regarding the fence. He indicated that there wouldn't be any variances for the fence.
Wouldn't be,
That's
okay.
why it wouldn't be part of this application. They can install a fence without the need for variances.
Thanks, Jeff.
And that's exactly what he said to me too, that he was going to take care of the fence.
Mr. Chairman, just a question for the applicant. If you're not using your garage, could you turn your pool 90 degrees and put it between the patio and the garage?
So,
In the front of the garage, you mean?
I guess you've got your house and you've got a paver patio.
Mm-hmm.
If you turn the pool and have it coming
Yeah,
off
so-
that patio,
so that was the suggestion that I got, not to go through a variance. But this way that would be in front of my house, and to go to the backyard, we have to go around the pool. And you'll be like,
If we want in the future, wanna
harder
park
for
any
the
car in the
kids.
garage, we'll not be able to.
yeah,
Because the
understood.
pool is gonna cover the entrance of the garage, so that's
Just-
why we didn't wanna do like
That's an
that.
option, so you're explaining why it
Yeah.
doesn't work for
Yeah.
you. Okay, thank you.
What kind of fence are you planning to install?
The white
Right,
vinyl
vinyl.
fence,
How high?
6 foot.
What about the suggestion that you modify this pool and come back to us with it?
Like what do you wanna need to modify exactly, so we can work on it?
You're proposing 10 feet. What's the narrowest pool that you build?
it's just, we can do it smaller. But it's,
It's gonna be like a lap pool if we
Yeah,
do
it's
too
gonna be
small.
I
a lap
understand,
pool.
just want to find out, because the
Yeah.
way that you increase the side yard setback and the garage setback is make the pool narrower. You're proposing 10, which is fairly narrow
Yeah.
Mhm.
pool.
Yeah, usually the small size of the pool, like,
it's 12 by
12 by 30 is-
34, and I already made it
It's,
smaller.
Mr. Ostrowski, on the side of the.
I believe he's on the,
He's
this,
on the
he's on the left
side.
side facing the house. He's on the left side.
Yeah.
That's the side with the 8-foot
Yeah.
setback.
Can we get that modified to go to 10 feet? On that
He's in
one
the
side?
business, can he do whatever?
I
he
think,
wants?
Mr. Chairman, if you want to have 10 feet on the side adjacent to number 30, you need to slide it and have a 2-foot setback from the garage, or you need to make the pool narrower.
Can you build it with a 2-foot setback from the garage?
no. It's too close to the garage, too far. It has to be at least 3 feet from the garage. 3 would be like against, like the
Yeah.
structure of the pool would be against the structure of the garage, so that's why we put a 4, so we have a foot to work on it.
Does it have to be an in-ground pool?
You want an in-ground pool? It's, we think like for the kids, it's gonna be better, because I don't feel like, I know, above ground pools has, the ladders and everything, but I can't really see the kids if I'm not inside the pool. Unless I build a deck.
Since you're in the pool business, and I'm just talking out loud here,
Mhm.
is there an above-ground pool that you could put in so you'd be in compliance?
Yes, there's like
So
a
the
lot
one,
of
it does
sizes.
exist, okay.
I mean, it needs to be less than 10 feet, so I don't really think the smaller
We
than they
do-
have like
like-
15 rounds.
Yeah, we gotta check on it, because we don't do
Do
above
like
grounds.
above ground.
We're doing grounds, so we have to look at it, because I'm not sure
And same thing would be like in
Exactly.
the front of the house because,
And if we do above ground, there's no variance, we can put anywhere in the backyard.
no, there's still the variance, right?
Still the variance on above ground,
You have to be in compliance.
Yes.
the
So-
same in 10
So yeah,
foot.
yeah.
there is not a above ground pool that's less than 10.
If you slid the pool 1 feet to the right, make it 3 feet from the garage and provide a 9 foot setback from the adjacent property that the neighbor's concerned with, and a 10 foot from the rear property, that way you need only 2 variances. Does that allow you to build a pool?
We can do
Yeah,
that.
we can talk.
I know that you were concerned with the proximity to the garage.
It's gonna be closed, but it's buildable. We can build it.
I agree, it's better to have the 4, just from a construction standpoint.
Mm-hmm.
What will the new pool be?
I don't know that it was decided, Mr. Chairman. I think that your board member has a concern with the 4 feet. She feels it should be more than 4. So if you make that 5, then that means it's only going to be 7 on the side that the neighbor is concerned with. You have a 10-foot pool and 12 feet to work with. You only have 22 feet from the garage to the property line.
Can't you make the pool smaller?
We
I
can.
mean,
As-
You
as I
custom
said-
make pools.
As I said, we can make it's a custom pool, but will be a lap pool to narrow. And also, I didn't understand like,
His
what
house
is the concern?
his house is higher than ours.
Our house-
So even
his
if the
house-
pool
what is the-
dump water, no water is going to
I
his house.
understand he wants us to follow the 10 setback, but there is a reason for that.
But if
It's
like
gonna damage his property.
our street is like going down.
Yeah, so he's higher than us,
I'm
no
lower than
water-
him, so no
no
water
water
from
is
my pool is
going
gonna
to
go to
his
his
yard.
property. If he was on the other side, I see he can have some worries for any water will go with gravity to his property, but he's in my higher side. So no water from our pool is gonna go to his side.
Mr. Ostrowski, can we talk to you?
What's up?
You have a concern with this pool? What is exactly your concern with
I
it?
have big concerns. I mean, the property's small. It's 1-car garage. Knock down the garage and put a pool in, that's it. Case closed. You either have to put a kiddie pool in or put a hot tub in. I mean, the property is, do you have plans for this?
Yes.
Where are they?
Here, when we have the plans, they can show you, but
I asked him, I asked him to,
I'm not gonna pay engineer to design a pool that wasn't approved.
I had asked him in a nice way today to stake it out, but he had a job or whatever.
Yes, because
I was
before-
leaving to, yesterday you looking over my fence and talking to us about the chickens and everything. Why didn't you ask me yesterday?
Because you were cooking.
Today I was leaving to us.
Okay,
I
all
can't
right.
stop
Let's
cooking.
this back. Let's
I
bring
can't
this
stop
back.
to cooking
All right.
to talking to you.
All
Today
I
was-
want to know is 10 feet away from my property. In back, what from the back of your neighbor's fence is, you want to do another 8 feet?
If they want, I can put tennis on the back. There's no problem. I have a long.
From 30 Ottawa Avenue. They're gonna put a 2-foot pool in the garage, and then you're gonna have a 4-foot or a 3-foot space in between the pool and the garage? Come on.
I just wanted to get your concern, exactly what you're talking about. Are you also concerned about the water runoff too?
There's no water runoff.
No, I'm asking, is there any water problem there?
No.
Okay.
I
Okay,
mean, yes, it is slow. But I have, flashing. I mean, they put a pool in, it's gonna be more flooded on their side. Cause you're gonna put pavers or you're gonna put, cinder block, you know, use cement, whatever you gotta do.
Okay, thank you.
I'm a little bit concerned about the neighbors.
Okay. This is what our proposal is. We're going to carry this over. And you come back to us at our next meeting with revised plans. Think it over, what you want to do, and bring it back before our board. You know what the issues are. You're in the pool business, so you'll be able to figure out a way that will be acceptable to everybody. Your neighbor, us, Borough of Sayreville, and yourself. You won't have to advertise it again.
Okay.
It's a carryover to the next meeting, which is next month.
You can see the main concern is the side yard setback
So from the neighbor.
on the neighbor.
Yes,
Okay, when I first started this, I was told that he not wanting us to do it because I knew this was going to happen. So it was like, if he complains about it, that's gonna be a no, or it's something that we can discuss. And I was told,
It has,
it's not a question of he not wanting it, he needs a good reason for not wanting it, okay? That was what I was told. So if he doesn't have a good reason, because he just doesn't want us to have a pool in there, I don't understand why we have to make it like a smaller pool.
Burden of proof on the applicant. That they should be entitled to the variance, it's not on public, so that they should not be entitled to the variance. So I would recommend that you figure out a way to somehow comply with the side yard setback, or even get a little closer to compliance, and come back at this board's next meeting.
see, the ordinance, the borough ordinance in the Borough of Sayreville is 10 foot.
Okay,
And what you're asking for us, representing the Borough of Sayreville, to give you a variance and make it 8 foot or 9 foot. And we're asking you to reconsider what you're asking for, the 10 foot going down to 8 foot. So reconsider that on a carryover, so you don't have to resubmit anything except to us, and come back to us next month and think about it, what you want to do.
okay.
But the
so
borough ordinance is 10 feet.
10 feet from the neighbor,
Yes,
okay,
Obviously, the board would be thrilled if you're able to reach some kind of agreement with your neighbor, but,
10 foot from him and 10 foot
We're
from the
gonna-
neighbor from the back as well, right?
not just.
Or just from him?
just
Yeah.
For from the back, it can stay with the garage and from
Yeah,
just
just
7
his.
foot.
his side,
Okay,
that's
Okay,
correct.
okay,
all right, we'll come back next month.
Think about it, it's a big decision, but
Mhm.
the advantage that you have a pool company, so you'll be able to think it over and figure out what you're gonna do,
okay,
Yeah, no problem.
okay?
Okay.
thank you.
Next month,
When is-
what day, what time? Okay, 27, same time?
Yeah, I'll call her,
Okay,
yeah,
Well,
okay,
call the office there and set it up, but it's the 27th of August.
Okay,
Just to be clear, this application is being carried to the August 27th meeting, no further notice. If you want to object, you need to be here August 27th, 7:30.
thank you.
Thank you. Have a good night. Appreciate it. Thank you very much.
It's August 27th, right?
Yes,
August 27th.
Will I get another register mail or
I'm sorry?
No.
will I get another register mail?
No.
No. Okay.
Okay, the next application is 2509, five-star suspension parts, 306 Journey Mill Road.
Good morning, Mr. Chairman, members of the board. My name is Jonathan Clement Muller, PA. I'm representing the applicant on this proceeding. And I'll be presenting 4 witnesses tonight. A representative of the owner, a representative of the applicant, an architect, and an engineer. With that, I would like to call my first witness, Frank Farrell of Gatto Engineering.
Microphone work? Yes, it does.
Raise your right hand. Hopefully loud. That definitely works.
It definitely does.
You swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
All right, here we go.
Thank you.
Mr. Farrell, could you please share with the board your educational and licensure credentials?
Absolutely. I graduated from Rowan University with a Bachelor of Science in Civil Engineering in 2009. I was a licensed professional engineer in 2014. My license is active and in good standing. And I'm also a certified municipal engineer. I believe I've appeared before this board and or the planning board and numerous other boards throughout the state.
All right, we accept your credentials.
Thank you.
Proceed.
Obviously, you're familiar with the 306 Journey Mill Road site. Could you please give the highlights to the board of the minor site plan application that we're seeking approval for and why we're doing it?
Absolutely. I'll try to be brief but thorough or complete. The property is identified as 306 Journey Mill Road. By the way, the plans that I'm referring to here on the easel are exactly the same plan that was submitted as part of the application. They've not been edited, altered, colorized, doctored, or changed in any way. If you'd like me to mark them as an exhibit anyway? No? Okay.
No, they're already part of the application.
Thank you. The project is located on the westbound or on the west side of Journey Mill Road when you're traveling northbound between Bordentown Avenue and Washington Road. The bulk standards are all compliant with the zone. Just to go through them briefly, the minimum tract area is 60,000 square feet, whereas 181,555 square feet exists. And again, these are existing and proposed. None of these are changing as part of this application. The lot width minimum is 100. The lot is 265 feet in width. The depth requirement is 100, whereas 767 exists today. The minimum front yard setback is 50 feet, whereas 102 feet is between the right-of-way and the existing. It's 1 story, but it's fairly tall masonry structure. Referring to sheet 2. The one side setback minimum is 20 feet, whereas 77 is provided. The total setback is 50 feet, whereas 156 feet is provided. The maximum building coverage is 60%, whereas 3.2% rounded up is existing and proposed. And the maximum impervious coverage is 85%, whereas 52.9% exists there today. So a more general description of the site. Journey Mill Road varies in width. It's approximately 25 feet wide from the shoulder to shoulder, but more generally it varies between 30 and 50 feet in paved width. It's also a county road. It's known as County Road 675. There is an existing driveway on the site that's not being modified by the applicant. The county is undergoing certain road improvements along Journey Mill Road, but they're not expected to have any significant impact on the property. The easement that the county took is shown on it's a temporary construction easement, is shown on the various plans submitted with the application. And the front of the site, which is where the subject of this application is taking place, is mostly a paved parking lot and then the existing masonry structure. The structure, when it was originally built, my understanding is that it was intended as an auto service center or a truck service center. It's not that now, and we're here for a change in use from whatever the prior use was to an auto service center is the most accurate description that would match a provision in the ordinance. That use is not permitted in the SED zone, which is why we're here before you this evening. It's a change in use. All the other bulk requirements are met. The other variance that we're seeking is a minor variance for parking. The existing site has 10 paved, or rather striped, paved parking spaces along the northern property line. And as part of this application, we're expanding the number of spaces that are striped, but we're not increasing the asphalt coverage of the site. It's all there already. Now I'm looking at sheet A4. So we're increasing the available parking, striped parking on site from 10 to 24. This is based on the truck service and maintenance facility, and the smaller portion, the front portion of the building is slightly shorter in stature than the rest of the building. In total, the building is about 5,700 square feet, but the back portion is a taller section where they're going to be bringing trucks in and out through an existing garage door. And then the front portion of the building is going to be converted into an office/small retail area. The parking lot and parking demand associated with those uses is 27 spaces. And that's a conservative estimate or a conservative calculation based on the ordinance. And the reason being is potentially there's some discussion to be had whether this counts as one service bay or 6 service bays. We're clearly showing 6 trucks can fit within the building itself, but there's only one door to move them in and out of. Nonetheless, we performed the calculation at 4, I believe it's 4 per. Four per service bay. Thank you. Yes. So 24 spaces are required pursuant to the conservative estimate that we're considering each one of these its own individual bay. My best approximation as to why that count would be applied to this use would be something more similar to a Pep Boys or a Jiffy Lube, where you're waiting on the customer in front of you to get an oil change, maybe a 20-minute turnaround. That's not this use. As you'll hear from the applicant, this use is a truck maintenance facility where we're talking about dump trucks that are coming in either under their own power or on a heavy wrecker. They sit inside the garage for a couple of hours while they're being worked on, and then they leave. There's really no significant expectation that there's going to be a lot of passenger vehicle traffic to the site. The retail section in the front is mostly going to be used by those same individuals that are appearing at the site to have their trucks serviced. And as a result, we really don't believe that the 27 spaces are required. Nonetheless, we're providing 24, which is still probably more than we're going to need when the site is maxed out. But we believe that it will it'll satisfy the demand for this property and this project and this use in particular. The remainder of the site, which I've not spent a lot of time talking about, but is subject to the application as it's a site plan application before the board, is an existing lease area that has a number of prior approvals associated with it. And it's noted in the planners and engineers letters, the board's planners and engineers letters, that area has morphed, shifted, or grown somewhat over the years. And it's the intent of the owner to return that area back to the original approved lease condition associated with the rear of the site. So there's an existing gravel area. That area outside of that prior approval will be allowed to return to natural conditions, or generally will be vacated as part of this application. It's going to be returned to that prior approval for these tenant spaces. And that's a leased contractor's yard is the way to think of it. Outdoor storage of materials.
Would you please just get back to the board that there is going to be no modification of the building structure at all other than replacing the signage?
Absolutely. As I mentioned, the building is existing. There's no plan to alter, modify, expand, or another way, change the building. There's an existing facade sign on the front of the building, which will be replaced with the new tenant's sign, but it's not going to be lit. It's going to be similar in size, area, shape, and whatnot as to the sign that's there now. And there is no new freestanding sign or any other signage proposed as part of this application. We also have the required loading zone shown on the side of the building and a small dumpster area. There's a couple of notes that I'd like to refer to or comments made, and we'll just address those head on. We've submitted the application to the borough's fire official. We've not received comment back yet, but expecting if there's any requirements that we add fire lane striping or other signage or requirements, we would, of course, agree to satisfy those conditions or those comments or requirements that may be issued by the fire official. There's a couple other, whether they be they're waivers, I believe, that are requested today. So there's a requirement that Belgian block curbing be provided throughout the parking area. There's no Belgian block curbing there now, and there's really no need to add curbing when the site exists and the parking, the pavement is all there already. It doesn't really add a lot to the site. And we're requesting that that condition or that requirement be waived. There's also no sidewalk along the frontage. This site is about 1,000 feet north of Starland Ballroom. There's really nothing else around it. There's one contractor's facility to the north, and the other neighboring properties are vacant. Sidewalk along the frontage doesn't really seem to be pertinent or provide a lot of enhancement along Journey Mill Road itself. Also, the county isn't, to my knowledge, isn't adding sidewalk in that area either, and they're currently working all along the county, their right of way. There's also a requirement that sidewalk be provided within the parking area. Again, parking area exists. We don't feel it necessary to, it doesn't add value. It doesn't increase or enhance the property in any way to add sidewalk where there's already asphalt parking area. We are, however, adding landscaping and lighting. So there's going to be an enhanced landscape buffer along the property's frontage between Journey Mill Road and the existing asphalt. And that'll assist in screening that parking from view from Journey Mill Road. There's also a waiver requested for the style of striping. We're going to go with the straight line striping, whereas I believe hairpin striping is required in accordance with the borough design standards. We prefer to stripe it consistent with the existing 10 parking spaces that are there already, rather than have mismatched or remove existing striping. It just seems more to have more continuity through the site. And I believe that covers my direct testimony.
Would you like to reserve questions for all the witnesses until after all the public testimony, or would you like to ask specific?
We'll ask as they go along. So anybody have any questions?
Yeah, what's the use that's not included that they're applying for?
The use that we're proposing is most accurately described as a truck maintenance facility. I believe that an auto service center is the most similar use defined in the ordinance, but this type of use is fairly unique amongst auto repair. It is, again, a truck maintenance, think a dump truck or other large vehicle that would be serviced at this facility. It's not, you're not going to drive your car to this site and get an oil change. It's just not that type of use.
It's primarily truck suspension, but like dump trucks, and I'm going to give you affirmative testimony to that. But it's dump trucks or bobtails, which is the front end of big rig without the trailer, that would come in if they need suspension, springs are down, whatever. That's primarily the focus of the applicant's business. They have a similar operation in Newark, so just service this area much better. It's a business to business type of operation. And if somebody's got a dump truck that needs springs or suspension, they don't want to drive all the way to Newark, have it towed to Newark, and be able to come in, get it fixed that same day, drive out, get back on the job. So it's beneficial.
Why?
You mentioned that there won't be any significant increase in traffic and I
Correct.
believe you based on the business model. However, the retail, I have a question on the retail. What are you going to be selling? In the
I
retail
would rather defer to the applicant who's going to be providing
Okay, if you have-
testimony shortly.
if Whoever can speak to that, I'd appreciate it.
What businesses are on the site now? Is it Brook Coat and some kind of concrete company?
I believe the owner can tell you exactly who's there, but again, it's a leased contractor's yard is the best way to describe it probably in the rear. And then the existing structure is, I believe it's currently unoccupied.
How many lease zones will there be?
There's 4 on the prior approved plan. I believe that it's really the area that is being leased is the biggest question. How much area in total back there is subject to being leased, and it will be returned to that condition. But again, the owner of the property can tell you more about the existing leases.
The service that you're going to do, this is going to be done if they come in like, say, 10 o'clock in the morning, they'll be out that same day.
Yeah, within an hour.
The expectation.
It's not going to be where they're going to come in for repair in 2 or 3 or 4 days. It's going to be,
Occasionally, there might be a truck that needs a parking order, but as a general proposition, it's same day in, same day out. The driver will either wait there and drive it back out again immediately, or he'll be picked up by an Uber or something like that. And come back to pick up the truck several hours later.
okay.
Are they gonna do engines or is it mostly suspensions and body works?
Mostly suspensions, there is, as, again, I'll have the operator testify to that momentarily.
Any other questions?
Mr. Chairman, we had some comments on our report, a couple of notes we wanted to have onto the plans. Any objection to take
None
care
at
of that?
all.
Thank you.
We believe we can satisfy any notes or other plans, changes requested by either the board's engineer or the board's planner. I just covered a couple of those waivers or loose ends that may have been in the report.
To the next. You want to proceed to the next witness?
This is going to be Mr. Phil Santi.
Good evening.
Mr. Santi, could you please describe your role with the applicant?
Could you spell your name before we?
You can use that microphone there.
That's A-N-T-O-S. Yes. yeah.
Hey, you're the representative of the business?
Yes.
Could you please describe the types of repair work and the types of trucks that you anticipate working on in this new location?
Yeah, essentially it'll be dump trucks, tractors, without the trailers, anything suspension work in and out, replace a piece that needs to be replaced in order for the truck to get back out on the road.
What's a typical duration of most of your repairs?
It could be 15 minutes worth of work. It could be 3 hours worth of work. It depends on the severity of what's going on.
You don't anticipate servicing automobiles?
No, absolutely not.
And is this similar to an operation that you have with your partners up in Newark?
Yes, correct.
Could you describe for the board how many employees you envision initially and at maximum that would be working in this location?
Yes, initially we want to start off with about 5 employees. Hopefully be able to grow up to about 10.
How many trucks do you anticipate servicing in a day to start and at a maximum?
I'd say anywhere from 5 to 12 trucks daily.
That's basically, do you intend to make any modifications to the building?
No, absolutely not.
Okay,
I think it's a question about engines. Are you? do you-
Oh,
engine-
No, no, strictly suspension.
Sorry about that.
Sorry, no, no.
It's just trucks, not trailers.
No,
No oil changes?
no.
How many bays are you gonna have?
About six to
Six
be able to
bays?
fit 6 vehicles inside there.
It all comes in through, there's one large door in the front of the facility next to where the office is. It is a big opening. And if you look at the plans that Gatto Engineering prepared, you can see you can fit up to 6 of this size truck into what was originally a truck service area, then was a warehouse, and now it's gonna be a truck service area again. It's basically the same thing. It's a very similar use, and the owner will testify as to what this structure was built for.
So the trucks that come in, they have an appointment, correct, beforehand or not?
No, we do get walk-ins as well. You know, something happens on the road that same morning, they'll shoot right over to my facility and get repaired and be back out on the road.
So most of them will be walk-ins.
Yeah, not most, I would say 50-50.
50-50?
Yeah, there are certain things on trucks that people do know that they have to address, and yes, they will make an appointment. But if something happens that morning of, you know, they could just come over and get repaired.
I have a question. You just said that it was a truck service center and then it went to a warehouse and now it's going back. So the first time, did they get a variance or?
I don't think it was a prohibited use at the time. It's been around a long time. The owner's representative will be speaking to the fact that it's been in his family for an extended period of time. They bought it as is and converted it to a materials warehouse usage in connection with some sort of brick facing, but he'll testify to that. But originally, it was a service area for a company that had a trucking fleet.
But it was allowed at that time?
Mr. Chairman, I provided a copy of the original resolution. In 1981 is when the original approval was granted. It was a planning board application, which means it was a permitted use. And the resolution called it a trucking business. That was and there were trailers, I think, that they had stored in the back of the property.
I believe it was some industrial at the time also.
Correct. What are the hours of operation?
During the week, 8 to 6, 8 to 1 on Saturday.
And it's not oil changes, it's oil repair, I mean, it's
Suspension.
repair.
Suspension
work.
repairs, yes. Suspension work, yes.
Any other questions? Okay, proceed to the next witness.
Thank you. I'd like to call the owner's representative, Mr. James Pollock. Mr. Pollock, could you please? Did you spell your name? For the record.
James, P-O-L-A-K. Yeah,
Mr. Pollock, this property has been in your family for some period of time, is that correct?
yeah, probably about, I would guess, 35 plus years.
Okay,
Or you can use that microphone.
Okay, 35 plus years.
so based on your personal knowledge and experience with the property, could you describe the usage over the years?
Well, we had used it for, we were in the stucco construction business, and we primarily stored some of our vehicles inside there, but it was mostly materials, cement, different dyes, different tools. And we closed the business about 3 years ago. So the building's been vacant.
Could you describe for the board your arrangement with these tenants?
Those tenants are primarily, like you said, construction supply. I believe there's a guy that has a little dumpster business there. There's a fencing business there. And then there's a guy who does like road paving work and such of that nature.
And as part of the technical compliance review for this application, was it brought to your attention that your property was not operating consistent with the prior approvals.
Yes,
And since that meeting, have you addressed that situation? And could you?
we're addressing it now. We've already removed some of them and we're making the adjustments to be compliant with what was approved. I guess over the years, when my father got, I remember there were all trailers back there. So it was kind of unclear what was going to be going on. And I was just a kid then. And he bought the trucking company out. And over time, we just got rid of the trailers. And there were a couple of those tenants already back in there. So they kind of just stayed there. And over the last, I guess, 5-10 years, my father's health really went down and he was no longer coming around the yard like he used to do weekly. And it kind of expanded. So once it was brought to our attention, that day I went down there and I started telling people they would have to leave and started making necessary adjustments to comply.
And it's your intention as part of your lease arrangement with both those tenants and the current tenants to comply with the prior approvals for those parking
Yes,
areas?
yes.
Do you have any questions for this witness?
There's two buildings, one that says brick coat on it, and then there's another one that I think today it said concrete work. I missed the name.
The neighbor next to me, because it only says brick coat on our building on the top.
Another building on the property?
No. There's a little office in the front, but that's attached to the warehouse. There's no name on that.
Chairman, I think the adjacent property is Z Brothers Concrete Contractor. That's a different lot. That's maybe what you're referring to. Yes.
Yeah, it's hard to tell where the boundary.
That would be to the north of this property.
And that's where they have the mold issue and they're removing it.
Oh, it's like business itself, I guess, that's what the business, own business.
That has nothing to do with
Not
us.
sure yet. That property that you're looking at is the adjacent property. It's not this property.
So the way your property is shaped then is you have some frontage that goes in front of the brick coat building.
Right.
And then when you go past the big brick coat building, it actually widens out,
Yes, the yard and back.
widens out. And then there's a little section or not so little
Right,
in front of that back section that's a different lot.
right.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions? For my next witness, I'd like to call planner, Kevin O'Brien of Shamrock Enterprise.
I do. Thank you.
Mr. O'Brien, could you please share with the board your credentials and licensure and experience?
Yes, good evening. I've been before this board, not since COVID, however. In addition to this board here in Middlesex County, I've had the pleasure of appearing in Carteret, Tunellen, Highland Park, Middlesex, Milltown, Monroe, New Brunswick, North Brunswick, Perth Amboy, Piscataway, Sayreville, South Amboy, South Brunswick, South Plainfield, South River, and Spotswood, among the 275 boards I've appeared before in 14 of New Jersey's 21 counties. Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman.
So you've worked with Gatto Engineering and you've reviewed the site and the proposal. You understand the variances that we're seeking. Is that correct? Specifically the use variances.
Yes.
Could you please speak to the justification for the application?
Certainly. The applicant is here tonight seeking the D1 use variance for a use that is not allowed in the zone. So that's why we're before the zoning board and not the planning board. We require the D1 use variance, which is the most difficult variance to get, requires a supermajority of the board. We're requesting a truck maintenance facility here. They're going to be doing suspension work, and that's it. Suspensions are us. That's all they're going to do. The truck business existed as recently as far back as 1982. As you've heard testimony, your engineer put on the record the resolution of the planning board for an allowed use for a truck business back in 1982. And I believe that truck business was far more intense than what we are suggesting today, which is a truck repair business limited to suspensions. We're also requesting waivers for front yard parking and hairpin striping of parking spaces, as Mr. Farrell has listed in his testimony. The truck maintenance facility is compatible with the other existing industrial uses on Journey Mill. The property is isolated and surrounded on 3 sides by wetlands and open space. The former truck business, dating back to 1982, performed maintenance on the site. They also stored tractor trailers. They had drivers. They were very intense use on this property. Vehicles idling, repairs to trucks and trailers, drivers reporting for duty, parking their cars for long periods of time, trailer repositioning and long hours, including weekends. We're not suggesting any of that. We are a much less intense use, as you've heard from the owner and the operator, limited to weekdays, Saturday mornings, and only suspensions. That's it. No changes to the building are proposed except for renovations. There'll be no change to the neighborhood as a result of this application. The only thing you're going to see if you drive by this place is a new sign. The application is completely conforming for bulk requirements. No bulk variances are requested. We're only here for the use variance. As a use variance, we have to meet a burden of proof. We've got to show you that there are unique circumstances surrounding this application. Got to show you that we meet the master plan. We meet the goals of the municipal land use law, and that we have no negative impact upon the area or the community as a whole. So, discussing the special circumstances, which I've just done. In addition to that, the site is particularly suited for this use, having been a truck facility previously. So what does the master plan say about this application? It calls this area a special economic development zone. And although truck uses are not allowed here, it's an industrial and manufacturing site. They are throughout this area, whether by variance or pre-existing. There are other truck repair facilities. There are other truck businesses in the area. And what the applicant is proposing is taking a vacant, isolated property in an industrial area for a compatible use with what has both existed on site and compatible to the existing uses in the area. The municipal land use law gives us guidance in the goals. And we've got to show you that we meet a number of those goals, and I believe that we do. Item A, alpha, encourage municipal action to guide the appropriate use or development of all lands in the state in a manner which will promote the public health, safety, morals, and general welfare. Item B, secure safety from fire and other disasters. This is going to be a code compliant building. Hasn't been touched in quite some time. The fire inspector is going to have comments about this, and the applicant has already said they're going to comply. Item G, provide sufficient space in appropriate locations for a variety of commercial and industrial uses. Item I, promote a desirable visual environment. The applicant is proposing to clean up the back of the site, letting it return to nature, as well as providing landscaping in the front, which is currently non-existent, and cleaning up the front of the site. We also meet goal M, to encourage coordination of the various public and private procedures and activities shaping land development. I believe that this application does meet those goals. In terms of negative impact, so the applicant has got to show you that there's not going to be a negative impact on the area, upon the community. And I can't identify any negative impacts. In fact, I can only see positives from this. It's a positive for the neighborhood by meeting the existing character of the neighborhood, by putting good economic activity in a vacant property, providing a rateable for the township, and employment, local folks. So I see that as a positive for everybody. So I believe we've met the burden of proof for a use variance. There are a number of unique aspects to this application that we've talked about. The application conforms to the master plan and will have a positive impact throughout the area as it maintains and preserves the existing neighborhood character. The application conforms to goals A, B, C, G, I, and M of the municipal land use law. And the application meets the negative criteria. There are no negative impacts, and the benefits of granting this application outweigh non-existent detriments. It will be a positive in generating a rateable and employment. I can conclude that this application can be granted without substantial detriment to the public good and without substantial impairment to the zone plan and the zoning ordinance. Sir?
I think you covered the waterfront. If there are any questions, specific question? Any questions?
I just wanted to touch on the retail space again. How big a footprint is it? And then do you anticipate people coming from within Sayreville, South River to go purchase?
I'm going to hand this over to the engineer to
Sure.
answer that question.
The footprint, and I'll probably pass it off to the operator to describe the expected clientele, but the area associated with the retail is noted on the plan as 400 square feet, and that's in that smaller front, total of about 700 square foot portion of the building. That's going to be split roughly 50-50, maybe slightly more in favor of the retail. The products
selling?
being sold are,
Yeah.
It'll be essentially suspension truck parts.
So they go there to get their truck fixed and they're gonna buy.
No, there's other shops in the surrounding neighborhoods that can come to me and I could supply them with suspension parts in order for them to repair their own vehicles in their facilities.
Okay. And how much traffic do you think, is there traffic? I know there's no traffic study. How much traffic is that going to cause in that area?
Parts customers, maybe 10, 15 people, a day to buy parts. Yeah.
Okay.
I have a question about the suspension parts.
Yes.
Say it can't be repaired. You have to get a new suspension or whatever. What happens to the old part?
The old parts, they're steel, so we will have a steel container for a steel company to come and pick up to be recycled.
But don't you like grease or oil the suspension?
Very, very, very little oil or grease. It's
So you
usually
don't have any.
barely any at all.
One question. Is there a place, I might have missed it, is there a place for the dump trucks to park while they're waiting in case there's a little bit of a queue?
That's a question that I asked Chair to.
there are. We've identified 3 slightly oversized parking stalls, 10 by 25 parking stalls in the front, and an additional 2 in an area to the rear or to the side of the building, but more toward the rear of the site. So there's 5 truck parking spaces, right? That would be sized for a dump truck or a similar cab, large vehicle. And then we also have, I believe it's 16 spaces for passenger vehicles, which may be employees or the retail user.
They'll be noted as this is for trucks, or it's pretty obvious what's going on.
Yeah, they'll be notably larger than a conventional parking stall. I don't believe that at the moment there's a sign that would indicate passenger vehicles are prohibited from parking in them. But clearly the way the site is laid out is all the customer parking or all the employee parking would be along the northern property line.
One more question. On the plans, it says 27 spaces required, and you're proposing 24?
Yes.
We actually spent a significant amount of time with the city's professionals talking about was this one service bay or 6 service bays? If it's viewed as one service bay, we have way more parking than would be required. But leading to the on the conservative side, we said, well, even though there's one bay entrance, if we can service 6 trucks at a time, we're gonna do the calculation based on 6. We're never gonna need that parking space. But the rationale was come to the board and say, dot accident is gonna be 27. We don't anticipate anywhere near that amount being used. We don't anticipate the trucks parking on the site in the areas that have been set aside for truck park. Literally, unless there are 6 trucks in the building, truck would just come in and be serviced. So we believe there's way more parking than reality. In reality, is required.
Because then the ADA space comes into play as well, right?
We are providing an ADA compliant parking stall. It is noted as stall 22, and there's also an inset on sheet 4 that includes grading information to demonstrate that the accessible route from this stall is nearest to the egress door associated with the office, which is the most appropriate location for that individual to enter the building. So I believe
Question, I think more was that if you're providing the 27 spaces that were required by ordinance, you have to provide 2 handicap spaces.
yes. So between 1 and 25 spaces, we'd need 1 ADA parking stall. If we hit 26 or 27, we'd need an additional parking stall. It could be in theory located proximate to this one. We just don't see a lot of value in adding additional striping to the site. If it's the board's request that we provide an additional ADA parking stall, we could probably flip this accessible aisle with the stall next to it. But based on this layout, it's not actually required.
Just as one of the members had mentioned, I think it's probably a good idea, it doesn't hurt. Where the truck parking is, to put up one sign similar to what you put up for handicap parking stalls as a truck parking area. So it's not used by a.
Sure, to reduce confusion and encourage the passenger vehicles to park along the northern property line. I believe that the applicant owner would be agreeable to providing truck parking signage to that effect.
Probably not to you, but is there any repair work that's done outside?
No.
No, everything will be done inside. Okay. Is it noisy? Is there a lot of banging or anything like that?
An air gun in order to remove the tire, does make noise.
You're far away from it.
The northern property is Z Brothers Concrete, and south, east, and west are trees, vacant wetland.
Mr. Cornell, do you have anything to add on your checklist that you provided to
No,
the
Mr.
board?
Chairman, the waivers that are being requested are basically existing conditions based upon the layout of the existing parking space. And the applicant is dressing up the site. He's installing landscaping, he's providing lighting, he's going through and addressing the problems with the expansion of the rear yard lease area. So all the issues that we raised during technical review, he's taking care of.
So you're satisfied?
Yes, Mr. Chairman.
Mr. Fowler?
I'm also satisfied, it's only really improvements of the site and the operation. And Mr. Farrell said he's going to comply with my comments in my report, so I'm satisfied.
And also too, the owner says he's gonna, the rental thing, you're gonna get rid of that. And that's gonna be taken care of too.
You mentioned air guns. I just want to get it on the record. You're not replacing any tires, right? You're not doing tire work. Okay. You get it on the record. Thank you.
Mr. Chairman, with regard to that lease area, there are notes on the plan that indicate the limits. And that way the zoning officer, if for some reason in the future there are problems, he'll have a plan that refers to the specific areas that are agreed to be used just for that lease area.
Any other questions? All right, at this time, I'm going to open it up to the public. Is there anyone from the public who wishes to speak in reference to this application? Hearing none, I close the public portion. You have a summation that you want to make?
I believe that both the owner, the applicant, and the professionals have addressed all of the helpful comments from the municipalities, professionals. They were very, very helpful to us in understanding the scope of what we need to apply for and what we need to do at the site. Based on the testimony, I believe we met the criteria not only to justify the parking variance, but also the use variance, bringing this building back into the use.
What is the pleasure of the board in reference to this application?
Make a motion to approve the application. Okay.
I have a motion to approve in a second. Roll call.
Mr. Green?
Yes.
Mr. Kaczynski?
Yes.
Mr. Esposito?
Yes, I'm sorry.
Mr. Emma?
Yes.
Castle Grant?
Yes.
Ella?
Yes.
Mr. Song?
Yes.
Okay, your application's been approved. At our next meeting in August, we will memorialize it and you're set to go.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Appreciate your time.
I have three resolutions here. The first one is 24 Roma Street. Has everyone had the opportunity to read the resolution that was put into the packet?
Yes.
What is the board's pleasure concerning the resolution on 24 Roma Street?
Motion to approve?
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Roll call.
Mr. Green?
Yes.
Mr. Kaczynski?
Yes.
Mr. Esposito?
Yes.
Mr. Emma?
Yes.
Mr. Castle Grant?
Yes.
Mr. Ella?
Yes.
Mr. Song?
Yes.
The next application or the next resolution is 40 Price Street. Has everyone had the opportunity to read the resolution there?
Just to be clear, if you vote to approve the resolution does deny the application.
If you vote yes, that's a denial. And that's what was voted on the last time we heard it. I need a motion on this one.
Mr. Chairman, I move the resolution be adopted.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. That is a denial application. Roll call.
Mr. Green?
Yes.
Mr. Kaczynski?
Yes.
Mr. Esposito?
Yes.
Mr. Emma?
Yes.
Mr. Castle Grant?
Yes.
Mr. Bella?
Yes.
Mr. Song?
Yes.
The next resolution I have is the appointment of a zoning board RLUIPA attorney. Has everyone had the opportunity to look over this resolution?
Yes.
So that just for the board's edification, and call it our LUPA attorney, Religious Land Use Institution Practices Act. Basically, this is for standing attorney for any issue, any religious land use site the board may encounter throughout the year.
So when, if we approve this, is he going to get hired immediately or
Yes.
do we wait?
Will be hired immediately
Okay.
for the rest of the year.
Is he on retainer?
Or the council, I believe, already approved funding for it.
A letter was sent to the mayor and council, and I believe that they had an executive session on this Monday night in reference this. And we do have applications that are going to be in the future. So we're trying to stay ahead of the game here. So
And sorry, how does it work with you, Alex? You're still our attorney?
Yeah, so our Lupa attorney will basically sit next to me and address any issues that arise regarding the Religious Land Use and Institutional Practices Act. And I will still be the attorney for the board.
any other questions?
The chairman, I move the resolution be adopted.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Roll call.
Mr. Green?
Yes.
Mr. Kaczynski?
Yes.
Mr. Esposito?
Yes.
Mr. Emma?
Yes.
Mr. Castleberry?
Yes.
Mr. Della?
Yes.
Mr. Donovan?
Yes.
Next one, has everyone had the opportunity to look over the minutes of June 25th?
Yeah.
It's the pleasure of the board concerning the minutes.
Make a motion to approve?
Second.
I have a motion and a second
Anthony.
to approve the minutes of June 25th. Roll call.
Mr. Green?
Yes.
Mr. Kaczynski?
Yes.
Mr. Esposito?
Yes.
Mr. Emma?
Yes.
Mr. Castleberry?
Yes.
Mr. Della?
Yes.
Mr. Donovan?
Yes.
Motion for adjournment. I have a-
Second.
I have a motion and a second. We're adjourned.